oldest poem we have in the world written down, and it's from a country called Sumer, which is that area where Iraq is today. And it's about a goddess called Inanna, and she was a goddess like around 4,000 years before Christ. It's very old, and the poem was written down on the stone on a rock, and it was written down by a woman, a priestess. They know that because the Sumerian had a language for women and a language for men. This is very interesting. And this Inanna, she was the goddess of the heavens. So her fathers was the planet and the sky gods. And she felt very much at home in this kind of more airy, brilliant, logical, predictable world. You know, the planets, they go in predictable patterns. So this was where Inanna felt at home. But then she married a king on the earth. And now she began to have a taste of more human feelings, like passion and jealousy and all these kinds of things. So she was known as the Queen of the Heaven and Queen of the Earth. And then she got very impatient and restless, and she decided to go into the underworld where her dark sister lives, Erishkagel. And she walks down there, but before, I'm going to tell this story short, but she walks down there, and it doesn't take long before the Erishkagel, the dark sister, hears that she is on her way, and Erishkagel gets so angry. It's like, what does she want? She can't just come down here to the underworld on a sightseeing. Nobody can do that, like that. And she sends out her guards. So when Inanna comes to the first gate, they say, you cannot enter without sacrificing something. So she has to take off her goddess crown, and she enters. And then the next gate, she has to take off something else. And through 7 gates, she has to go through. And with each gate, she has to sacrifice everything that identifies her as a goddess. And then she enters the underworld completely naked, completely bowed to the ground. And then she thinks, oh, now I have sacrificed everything. Now, she must be happy. But Erishkagel, she says, oh, no, here you are with this me who wants to. So she even kills her to cut away that identity too. And Inanna, the queen of the heaven and the earth, she is hung up on a meat hook to rot. And then through some other circumstances, she hangs there and rot for 3 days, but then she gets saved, and she is coming up again. And she's still a goddess, but she's very different now. She's still the same goddess, and she's different because she has experienced herself without the identities.
Without a role.
You see? And that can never be unseen. So now she sees the world differently. And this is this is a beautiful map of how crisis can be, doorway, initiation to great awakening. Also, like the shamans, they use this, that you have to go through all these kind of different initiation and rip off the old identity in order to see yourself in a more expansive way. So that's how, these wake-up calls from life can be of great opportunities if we just have the framework. Because oftentimes in our society, they say, oh, you should get over it quick. We get, some pills, or we should get back to normal, very quickly when we go through crisis. And then we kind of miss out on this very profound initiation that is potentially there.
It's no doubt that some people have these initiations, with sickness or with very deep losses. But what about you and me? I mean, I don't think I'm not probably going to have any kind of like initiation like that,
Yeah, but luckily, like what we can do is I have had many initiations like that in my life, but what we can also do is to because we're lucky that we can bring that kind of awakening. We don't have to wait for the cancer to hit in order to investigate the things we are doing right now. For many people, they don't even know the possibility of doing that until everything falls apart.
Because they're so used to postponing. What you said was fence sitting, we're just into like stasis and saying, oh yeah, you know, the wise men know about that. If there's any breakthrough there, they'll tell me, or I don't know what. What do we think? What's our
Hmm. It's true. It's a gap there. It's true. It's easier to think like it's the projection that it's out there. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same as I was telling before that we have the abstract identity of who we are, and automatically we create a shadow of who we are not. And the shadow could even be that, you know, the enlightened one. Like I'm this, and that person is that. So our work is really to also to bring back the shadow, to see that we are all of this.